None of us really know. None of us really know.
I know.
No, I know. Perfect timing, Keith.
Keith, what's up?
Your favorite movie of all time. Step 9.
Oh, good.
How is there any other choice than Remember the Titans being number 1?
I'm curious.
I'm spoiling mine, but
Well, let's see. Here we go. Yeah, that's a good, good
I'm
question,
not even
Brian.
done talking.
you shouldn't be talking at this point.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. It is Apocaflix Movies and Apocaflix Now. Hope everyone is doing great out there. It is a Tuesday evening as we are here to talk some great movie news discussion stuff. I mean, look, DC brings up some debates. Gio's in the top left corner tonight. He's ready to get the ball rolling. That's a little bit later on in the show. We are going to be talking Prey as well, the new Predator film, which I cannot wait to talk about. And as you see, we have a brand new guest on the channel tonight.
Hey.
If you do know the Movie Trivia Showdown, and specifically the Inner Geekdom League, he is Amaru Moses. What's up, man?
What's going on? I appreciate you fellas letting me on to talk a whole bunch of geek stuff, some movie stuff. I'm excited. I watch y'all pretty weekly, live sometimes, not live other times, but I'm like, I really just want to get on and talk with them. So I'm very happy to be here.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, no, thank you for joining us, Rue. It's I'm excited, man, because whenever we get to talk, it's always just schmodown. Now we get to just like hang out and relax and talk movies, which is super, super cool. So, but of course we have Gio, we have Jacob. Gio, I'll start with you. You are in the hot seat up there in the top left tonight. How you doing?
A lot of pressure. No pressure, guys. I'm doing good. I am having a beverage after a long day of work. Tonight's beverage is an IPA Big Daddy. Reminds me of a Django. I don't know. Because Don Johnson's character. But anyways, I got a new camera. How's it look?
Oh, it does look better, actually, now that you mention it.
Jacob's just saying that because you said you got a new camera. That's fine.
Yeah, didn't notice at all.
No, I can tell. I can tell the difference for sure.
Thanks.
Dang.
I'm good.
And Mr. Barley, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing well, man. Gio just gave a free sponsor away for Big Daddy IPA, man. We need that sponsor money. No, I'm doing all right. I don't think I've told you yet, Jake, but I'm officially going back to get my master's and my teaching credential. So have my bachelor's, getting my master's.
Rue's also a teacher. He's also a teacher.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
awesome.
Let's go.
There you go.
Yes, I'll be there. I've been subbing lately, and subbing is not fun. You know, it has its ups and downs. So I want to be a permanent teacher in the classroom. So going back to do that. So it's never a bad thing to like improve yourself. So that's a good thing. Feeling good about that.
Well, I mean, congratulations. Look, I come from a teaching background as well. I didn't go into it, but I understand what it takes. That's awesome, man. That's big time. Are you gonna do it local or?
Well, it's basically an online program. Yeah, so it's very convenient and affordable. So yeah,
nice. Well, that's awesome. Congratulations, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Keith Barnes will be joining us here in just a little bit. If you watched last week, he is part of the movie watching challenge this week. He watched, or at least I think he watched, Lawrence of Arabia, and I can't wait to hear his take on that one. A big time movie where he'll be reviewing and then challenging someone else. We'll be getting to that a little bit later on, possibly on another video, because I don't want to take away from the conversation tonight. So we'll hold off on that. I say we get right into it because we have a lot to talk about tonight. We have not done a movie review on this channel in quite a while. It's been a while since we did an actual movie review. We've been taking care of like Comic-Con and DC topics. I think the last review we actually did was Top Gun Maverick.
Or Thor.
Or Thor. I guess a
and
month ago
Thunder.
was Thor.
Yeah.
So a month's a while.
But we also did the ranking too, so you're probably thinking, it was more of a ranking episode than
I mean, a month is a long time.
Yeah, that's true.
But look, so we are going to get into spoilers. We are going to be talking about Prey. It is available on Hulu, and it is the new Predator film. I want to go around and get quick thoughts on this movie real quick before we get into some deep discussions about this. Gio, I'll start with you. We'll go around the table. What did you think about Prey?
Yeah, this movie had a lot of hype because I watched it a few days after it came out, and just all the buzz was just incredible. Like, arguably the best one in the franchise, and what fresh ideas they had from just a small time director like Dan. How do you pronounce his last name? Trachtenberg. Yeah. Genius movie. Genius. I love the setting. Love the way that the movie takes its time and just showcasing the landscapes, the environment of that time, and what they were able to do with the Predator and reinventing the character sort of by introducing I believe it's called prehistoric Predator. And
if that's what it's called, that's the first time I've heard of that.
I believe I think I heard that on
that's
Twitter.
actually dope if that's actually what it's called.
Yeah, I just saw that on Twitter, so
it's significantly, the design is significantly different, so that's kind of cool.
Because if you think about Predator from like Arnold Schwarzenegger or even Predator 2 or whatnot, like that young lady and the tribes, they don't stand a chance.
No.
They don't stand a chance at all.
No.
So I like that they tone it down a little bit with the weapons, and it's a very intense, suspenseful movie, beautifully done for a streaming budget. Well done. And there's so much more to say, but just to wrap it up, I thought genius movie. Loved it.
Love to hear it. Rue, what about you?
This movie was excellent. I loved it. It should have been released in theaters. Even with the budget, it looks beautiful. It sounds beautiful. The acting is great. For me, I don't have nostalgia goggles for the original Predator. I saw it for the first time maybe about 2 years ago. For the Schmodown. So it's a good film. But for me, after my next watch of the original, Prey right now, my gut is probably going to be my favorite of the franchise.
I think that's for a lot of people.
I enjoyed it. I loved the homages to the original. Amber Midthunder was great. I really loved the dynamic between her and Dakota Beavers, her and her brother. That was great.
Yeah.
Some of the best action. So they were legit on my couch. I yelled like, "Oh yeah!" And I don't do that very often. And of course, top tier movie, dog. Just beautiful movie, dog. Loved her to death. So great.
Yeah.
So great.
So happy the dog didn't pass either, which is just cherry on top. Cherry on top. Jacob?
Yes. I feel all right. So I've never been a big Predator fan, right? Like, I like the movies. I like the first one a lot, but it's never like one of my favorite franchises. I freaking love this movie. Like, nice. I love it. And to me, I really like brutal violence when it fits the movie. Like, and it plays into like the story, right? Because as he's fighting and killing these guys throughout the movie, we're learning new things about the Predator every time he does something new. And it's like there's like random violence, like in Halloween Kills, is like stupid. They do it just to be gratuitous on purpose. This is done very, very well. Like, every move was like specifically thought out, and that goes throughout the whole movie. So I really appreciate like when a whole movie follows through all of its threads and there's like basically really no flaws in the film, in my opinion. It delivered on all levels. So I'm excited to talk more about it.
That's high praise, man. No flaws.
I can't really praise. It doesn't mean like it's the best movie of all time, but it just means like for the movie that they were making, I think everything worked.
For sure. Yeah. So it sounds like I might have, I'm not going to say like Predator is one of my all-time favorite franchises, but I've seen the movies a ton. And I even got. It's funny. I watched it Sunday night, and I had just finished watching the first 4 Alien movies. I watched the first 4 Aliens. I watched Prey. I immediately started watching the Predator movies, and I'm halfway through Predators, the third one right now.
Underrated.
I 100% underrated. But I'm now, it like totally reinvigorated this like fandom I have for the franchise. And I will say the second one is not good. It is not a good movie.
It's a fun time when you're drinking.
It's just, well, it brings up what I kind of want to talk about is like, so just speaking about Prey real quick. I love when we get these super high, like popular franchises at a very personal level. It is like, I put it out on Twitter, but Predator is one of those franchises, and we've seen a couple of franchises do this, and there's a couple of franchises that we can talk about if this does kind of branch off. It's one of those franchises that when it tries to go bigger, it kind of gets worse. Where it tries to be like this world-bending aliens like invading Earth type of thing. It works best. The 2 best movies are when a predator is essentially hunting down a group of people. The first one and this one. It is the simplest of stories you can possibly make, but it's the way that you tell that story, right? You have essentially a group of commandos in the first movie in 1987 with Schwarzenegger and company. And then you have this where you're placed in the early 1700s, the Comanche tribe, something we rarely see on television, where guns are there, but not really there. But also that incredible Easter egg, by the way, incredible Easter egg of the gun. But it just, Dan Trachtenberg took everything he wanted from the first movie and then said, you know what, I'm going to scale it back a little bit, but I'm going to reinvent what weapons were back then. Like the boomerang axe, like with the rope and everything, cool. Like that was incredible, and that's genius. And it just adds to her character as well, of like how smart she really is. So yeah, I'm with all of you. I think the movie is so much better than even it's like being praised for. It's such a smart movie. It's a movie that really knows what it's doing in each progression it makes. And Rue mentioned it, but the acting is just out of this world good. Like it's incredible what these actors were able to do in this situation. And I think someone said it in the chat, but I 1,000% want the Predator clicking noise back in theaters. That's all I want to hear. Yeah, I just want to hear the clicking. Like if I saw this movie in a theater, it would probably be one of my favorite movies this year, just because of like the surrounding and everything.
I wish, man, that would.
It's up there, but it probably would have enhanced my viewing that much more.
I agree.
100%.
Go ahead, Gio. Go ahead.
No, I wanted to talk about the main character real quick. I'm sorry, the actress's name is something
Amber Midthunder.
Amber. Apologies.
Amber.
Great character. Great writing. I say that because the movie, it intentionally shows her progress the longer she's out there in the field. We see her not just, like some expert right off the gate or something like that. She fails. She doesn't give up, but along the way, she catches on more and more, right? Like she starts learning things about like this predator. The fact that later on in the movie, we're going spoilers, how she finds out that she can't be seen. She starts learning things outside of her element, like how to use a pistol, stuff like that. Like she's constantly like a computer, like a program, like an alien species technology, learning the whole way to the point where by the end of the movie, it is a contrast from where she was when she first went out there to where she is at the end. And all of a sudden, like the predator is in her territory and she's using the environment and everything around her. I love that it didn't feel forced. It wasn't just a powerful female lead character just because it's a powerful female lead character. They gave her a great arc and really good writing, in my opinion.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, she crushed it. Like I want to see her in everything. Like,
if you haven't, if it's still on FX, go back and watch Legion because she's a badass in.
I heard she's
Legion.
in that. Yeah,
she's one, and she's actually one of their main fighter of the crew. She's one of the main fighters in there, and she was killing it then. So if you haven't, go see Legion because she's really great in that, and I definitely want to see her in a lot more things.
So I don't know, and this is just a quick little thing here, but I saw on Twitter after I started watching it. I don't know if this is just one person or like a viral thing, but people want her to play X-23 for the MCU.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Oh,
Yeah, no, the version.
And,
Yeah,
like, it's kind of dope. Like it would be kind of. I know we're getting way too far ahead of ourselves, but like
only if they're officially recasting is all I'm.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
Daphne King doesn't
Because
want
you
to,
know how I feel about Logan and Daphne Keane.
yes.
If it's not Daphne Keane, then 100%, by all means, she should play her.
Yeah.
I'm totally down for that. I mean, it would be great. Be a great casting.
What did everyone think about the redesign of the Predator? Because it's a significantly different look, different style. He acts different. What did we think about this redesign that they gave this character?
I loved it. I thought it fit. This is the first time I've heard prehistoric Predator well, and I think it fit perfectly, especially in the setting that they put him in with the bone, bone mass that's still technological. He looked great, man. I really enjoyed that redesign, and it fit the era for what it was. So
he definitely worked out. That dude definitely worked out. I mean, he gave a right hook to a bear.
And killed it instantly.
makes sense, because like I said, his technology, maybe it's intentional, but it's not as advanced. So he's using more strength, and just physicality. Speaking of which, man, the fight with that bear, the fights between Predator and everything that was not human, like I loved that the movie showed him being a predator, not just like, in the first movie, this is who I am, whatnot. I can take down these, but no, he went from a snake, which he's skinned and then took out some guts, to a wolf.
Hey, shout out to the wolf though. The wolf put up a fight.
The wolf put up a fight.
The wolf
took like 3 steps after being gutted, and I was like, "Are you still alive?" No, okay.
I had to rewind it a second time, but when he sliced it and the wolf lands, you could see some of the guts start to spill. It really stopped. But the fight with the bear, first off, I thought if you haven't seen this movie, and first off, I appreciate you watching, but go watch Prey. If you think the bear in The Revenant is scary, no, this bear does not went up a hill like really quick, and just like thank God the dog drove it away.
I was terrified that dog was not going to make it.
Yeah,
I was terrified that bear was going to snatch it right at it. Oh my God!
But the fight between the bear and the Predator might be my favorite, even more than the showdown at the end. Like there was just something about the way that fight was, handled, and the camo, and then when the Predator lifts the bear up, and then the blood spilling, almost like he's drinking some of it too, or just like bathing in it, like you're
spilling it on him, and you could see him. Yeah.
Oh my God! And I'm like, lady, you better start swimming away. You better go, okay? Because crazy.
Yeah. Does he fight the French soldiers twice, or is it just once? Because I think
he fights them just once. When the French soldiers found her, he fled.
Oh, he leaves, and then he fights them later. So when he fights the French soldiers, that was my favorite part of the movie.
So dope. Yeah,
I can't even remember all of the kills off the top of my head, but the net one with the retracting net that sucked in. Dude. Oh my God!
The one right after that got me is when he took the bear trap and lifted it up and just put it in dude's head. Dude. That is the one that got me out my seat.
There's so many of those, but like the net one was just slow, and then the shield cutting off the head. It was
the shield. The shield was a good one where you could see it going through the head in the tree. That shield was pretty dope. Shield was pretty dope. I did want to bring up something interesting here. If you've seen Predators, the third movie, Shane here said that he read on IMDb that the skull belonged to a species of aliens shown in Predators called a river ghost, which is another
Nice.
cool callback. There's plenty of callbacks in these movies. Obviously, in Predator 2, we see the alien skull from their hunting, trips and stuff like that. But that's a really cool callback there. The skull was super cool. I loved how it came back around at the end as well, and how she used it to eventually kill him. But yeah, I just the action was brutal in the best way possible.
Mhm.
It was also extremely personal. Like you can feel the emotion
Oh,
inside the action that was happening, and I love what all the Comanche fighting as well. Some of them got torn to absolute pieces.
Yeah.
Poor guys just got just shredded apart. But some of them put.
Is
up
it
some
really
good
poor
fights.
guys after the way they treated her though?
I mean,
Like,
okay,
it was
fair,
a little,
fair.
Yeah.
little.
No,
Oh,
fair.
she,
Okay, fair.
He put up a
Fair.
fight, man.
That is
Yeah.
absolutely fair. I'll say her brother. I'll say Tabe. Tabe
Yeah.
was a badass when he was on the horse. Coming around while she was kind of stalking him a little bit. Has such a great moment of his skills and showing why he is considered so high in their tribe. And that death scene was also just traumatic.
Brutal.
Just knowing that it was
that
coming.
I think was fight scene. Because
Yeah,
of
that's a good
how
one.
emotional it was. Him coming off of that horse and hitting the predator with the spear. And everything, how he put up a fight one-on-one.
Yeah.
You weren't expecting. He put up a fight one-on-one, and then it's taking 2 spears to the chest and still getting up and stabbing. Yeah, that fight right there, between that and the French soldiers were neck and neck. But I loved the emotion that went behind their relationship. I think their relationship was probably my favorite part of the movie going throughout it. Because you could see, like, he's a true big brother. He's when he became the war chief and she had failed and he was like, look, we did it. And then he turned around and was like, no, I did it. You tried. And you could tell, like, he's trying to be honest, but also trying to be, like, loving, but also be like, I need you tried, but you failed. And I wanted you to, but you did it. So I need to go do this. It, like, their dynamic was great from throughout the entire film.
And then when it came back around and he basically said, I wouldn't have got the lion if it wasn't for you.
Well, yeah, he said it was your plan that worked.
Yeah.
So she was right, but he just needed to do it. Yeah.
Which I didn't know lions were like, I mean, that's a crazy ass lion too. They made that lion vicious as hell, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did not hold back on the animals and just the
They're very realistic.
ferocious.
Yeah.
It's
insane.
Great job on the music too. The score, it reminded me of Last of the Mohicans. Just like, yeah, I'm all about it. I mean, that's kind of the only other movie I've seen, but everything about it was great. The cinematography, the music, the acting. I saw half the movie in English and I was like, okay, I got to see the Comanche version. And I just watched the rest of it the whole way through. Just as great. Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't know they had that version until after I finished it, but I'm going to watch this movie again. So I might watch it,
Me too.
like that.
Oh yeah.
Me too. Which would definitely be cool. Like, I instantly wanted to watch it again, like the next day.
Jacob, I got a question for you, and this is from the chat. And I don't know, maybe Amaru is also a big Mortal Kombat fan, but would you want to see the Predator fight Scorpion?
This is funny because I was watching it with Demont, my roommate, and we were talking about who could the Predator fight, like that would be an even fight. And we were talking about characters from different genres, but Scorpion, I think Scorpion would probably win. I don't know, but it would be a good fight just because Scorpion has some mystical elements to his powers, which is kind of unfair, but it would be a pretty cool fight. But what we started getting into, who we started with? Cap. And we were like, yeah, Cap would mess the Predator up. Cap would whoop his ass.
Shield versus Shield. Which one would be better? Shield versus Shield.
I mean, Cap would ultimately win, but then we were like, okay, who could the Predator fight? And we realized most superheroes could beat him. Like, if you really think about it, even Hawkeye could beat him if he had his arrows. But
his special arrows.
Yeah, very true. But he would, yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Give me Hiroyuki Sanada in anything, in absolutely anything. That man is I cannot. John Wick 4. He was so good in Bullet Train, so good in Bullet Train. Yeah, so give me him in anything and everything.
I'd love to see him in a Predator movie. That'd be bad ass. Okay, I have a question to kind of wrap up this conversation for everybody, and I'll actually bring Keith on because Keith just popped in actually because I would love to get his thoughts if you've seen it. Keith, thumbs up if you've seen Prey. Okay, cool. I'll bring him in. All right, so here we go. What's up, Keith?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Pretty good, man.
Theo just jumped out real quick for a pop-off, but I wanted to ask a question real quick to the class about Predator and other big franchises that have kind of been struggling as far as, keeping the movies going. And it goes back to what I said earlier about maybe getting too big with their storytelling. What would you guys say about other directors or maybe even Trachtenberg taking popular characters, Predator, Terminator, other characters, and putting them in stories like this where it's kind of a one-off and you just get one movie rather than a world-bending sequel, multiple movies types of story? Because look, Terminator, time traveler technically, right? Like they can be sent anywhere. And that's kind of what the first movie was all about. It seems to have worked here. It worked in the first Predator. It worked in the first Terminator. It worked in the second Terminator. I know there were a little bit larger stakes there, but do some of these franchises kind of need to take a little bit of notes from what Prey just did and scale things back and work on story rather than franchise?
Everything needs to work on story rather than franchise. I'll say that for sure. So, Jake, you and I reviewed The Predator in 2018 when it was out. We both thought it was awful. Hello, Star Drew. I don't know if you remember at that time, I was like, everything you just named, Aliens. Well, yeah, no, Aliens 2, Terminator, Predator, RoboCop, kill them all, because they're trying to capture something, recapture something that they can't. They haven't been able to. I don't know if they're trying to read, especially Aliens. Aliens seems like they're constantly trying to if you read some of the stuff really Scott said about it, it's just like, what do you there's a lot of contradiction. There's a lot of him trying to recapture what that first one was. There's a lot of confusion. I don't know if they really, really know where they want to go with it. I feel the same way about Terminator. I still haven't watched the last one. I heard it's okay.
It's not bad.
Yeah, that's pretty much the vibe I get from it.
It's better than the previous ones, I'll say.
You're right. Yeah. So I do want to watch it, but these are all these things that I grew up with, all these, and have loved all of them. All the first ones, like you said. But as much, and I guess we'll get into it. I think everybody here we all enjoyed Prey. I think it's to say off that, it's easily in my top probably 4 of the year.
Same.
Yeah. But what I don't want, and I was watching this because I figured we would probably talk about this. See, I don't want them to take the wrong lesson from Prey and try to. I don't want them to learn the wrong lesson and try to copy that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I think there are some creative, like you mentioned Terminator. Like there's ideas. I've heard ideas of like Terminators. The TV show did it. The Sarah Connor Chronicles. They did it where there was Terminators that arrived here like in the 1900s, early 1900s, that had been here which was interesting, and that was a good show. So you could do stuff like that, I guess. But like you say, yeah, more focus on story and characters, scale it down some, and go from there, I guess. So yeah, I mean, I would agree with that, but also I don't want them to copy.
Maybe not every franchise, but I think it'd be so cool to see a Terminator movie where it's just one Terminator,
like in the old
set
West
back in time, like for some reason, and someone has to face the Terminator. Like right. Very similar to Prey. I think it'd be badass. Like pick an era. It can be. It doesn't have to be this era. You can do freaking Vietnam. You can do World War I. You can do the Civil War. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Pick an era.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
And like do something very cool like what Prey just did and worry about just telling a cool story rather than trying to focus on, okay, we need to make something that creates a sequel. Because
exactly,
this movie is going to possibly create more Predator movies because it's good first. Like that's why it's Hulu's highest viewed movie like ever in a certain amount of time, and it's doing really well, and it's going to have probably more movies because it's a good movie rather than worrying about what comes next. That's why I wanted to pose the question. So.
Do we all agree that they're not going to make a direct sequel to this movie? They'll just make another Predator movie, like
set in a different time.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are saying like, "Oh, let's do one like Every Time era," but I mean that'd be cool. I'd be down for that. But like, I don't think they'll make a direct sequel with this cast or anything, which is fine because I'm sure we're going to see some of these casts in different stuff going forward. But
Well, you know what though? That's part of I'm sorry to jump in real quick, but just real quick, that's part of it, and we'll talk about it when we talk to the movie. But the thing with the gun, right? Because that ties it to Predator.
So cool.
It was cool, but it was like, okay, as long as just leave that there. Don't try to build it don't have a story where one of them comes back to, and we'll get to it when we talk about the spoiler discussion. But yeah, I do. If they could do that, if they could just make it separate, each one separate, then I guess I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Personally.
Rue, do you have any thoughts on stories taking kind of notes from this one and telling a little bit on a smaller scale, like Terminator, Alien, etc.?
Terminator was immediately the one I thought of that just needs to kind of scale back and not try to go so big. I was one who at first when I finally watched Genesis, I watched the first half and was like, this is not that bad. And then it got really, really bad. It got really, really bad.
Yeah.
So for me, Terminator, and probably Jurassic Park as well.
Oh, that's a good call.
Probably Jurassic Park.
Yeah. That's when I said kill that one.
At least for a little while.
Yeah.
That's also, Keith, nice to meet you.
Right.
Lovely hat.
Yeah, nice to meet you, sir. Thank you. All right.
Oh, lovely hat. Do we have another Yankees fan on the screen?
All
We're
rise.
moving on.
What is he at? 44 home runs?
Goodness.
I'm kicking everybody out.
Hey,
I'm kicking everybody
Jake,
out.
I was gonna say Transformers, but they already did that with Bumblebee. They kind of did that. Exactly
and Bumblebee was
this.
great.
Well,
In
it
a
was
way.
great. And they're doing Beast Wars next.
They're doing Beast Wars. Yeah.
Yes.
But they're doing 3 of them, which hopefully it's not
That's kind of
What?
the opposite of what we're talking about.
Hey,
Three
Beast
Beast Wars movies?
Beast
Oh, dude,
Wars
they
warrants
announced
more
the
than one
trilogy,
movie.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I
it
didn't
warrants
know
more than one movie.
Anyway, Keith, hold on. Because you missed it. We actually started the show off with Prey, Keith. So if you have any final thoughts on Prey,
Oh man.
before we move on, what would just kind of a wrap up real quick because I want to get to this DC stuff. What is your final thoughts here on Prey before we move on?
Wonderful. Absolutely loved it. Start to finish. Love the characters. Love the young lady. What's her name again? I'm sorry. I don't know her name. I know it starts with an A.
Amber Mid-Thunder.
Amber Mid-Thunder.
She's
Mid-Thunder.
awesome.
Thank you.
She was just she was great. That's the thing I love. See, the Predator, one of the things just you can beat a Predator. That's the thing I loved about it is that you can just beat it with just like some trees, some rocks, just some sharp weapons. Like you don't need remember the last one, that stupid end scene in the last one where Boyd Holbrook opens up that box and there's a
He's got a super suit.
Yeah, like it's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. Like you don't need that to beat a Predator. Like it. Yeah, so I loved that she just had to use her wit and her knowledge of the land and it was so good. Such a great movie. I stopped myself from being like, oh, this is the best movie of the year. I'm gonna watch it a couple more times, but it's like I said, definitely in the top 4 for sure. So I loved it. That was great.
Good to hear.
It's too bad it didn't come out. I think it would have done really well in theater.
We talked about it. It needed to be a theater movie. Honestly, because did something else come out this weekend?
The train, the Brad Pitt
Bullet Train. Okay, so
yeah,
honestly, and I think Bullet Train made probably around like 30+ million. I think Prey probably would have beat Bullet Train easily. Easily.
I don't know.
The 30 million? You don't think so?
maybe, but coming off of that last one, the last couple, the Predator movies have never been big box office.
I'll tell you what, the next one will
maybe, but
Yeah, if the next one comes out in theaters.
the next one.
Yeah.
Whatever era it's set in. Absolutely.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. All right. Well, that wraps up everything Prey. I want to get to this DC's discussion. We have about 45 minutes to talk about everything DC. Specifically, Specifically, the word of mouth from last week. Warner Brothers had their earnings call, and they announced that there is a 10-year plan for DC movies, and they are keeping the franchise strong and trying their best to put quality out rather than just quantity. They're going to be focusing on projects like they've never had before. At least they say they are. Obviously, this all comes after the fact of canceling Batgirl and possibly a couple other projects as well. Still kind of TBD on some other ones. But I want to talk about this 10-year plan they announced. Specifically, do we buy into it? What do we want to see personally? What should they do with the current DC slate that they have? Gio, obviously you're a big DC guy here. I kind of want to start this off with you. You can talk, you can pose a question, whatever. We will all spin off of you here. Take the floor. What are you thinking about this whole 10-year idea plan that Warner Brothers and DC has in play?
Yeah, I made it a priority to listen to the Warner Brothers Discovery earnings call. It was something that a lot of film Twitter, at least, was paying attention to, because with the shocker of canceling Batgirl and what else was going to happen, was like, wow, okay, hold on to your butts, because here we go. And having listened to it all, I can't believe I'm saying this.
Oh, God.
I'm actually encouraged.
Oh, God.
I am encouraged. Now, hear me out. Okay. Hear me out.
I'm not surprised. If I'm being honest, I'm not surprised.
I'll say it again. One of the biggest moves they made that nobody's talking about is the addition of Alan Horn. Coming out of retirement, going back to Warner Brothers after the previous regime thought it was a great idea to let him go, and then he went to Disney, and the success that Disney had from Marvel, Star Wars, and all that stuff for the past decade. Okay, he's back, so huge move. But more importantly, arguably, they mentioned, and they showed a graphic, DC Studios. What the fuck took them so long? Excuse me, sorry. What took them so long? Okay?
Yeah.
Like Marvel, right off the bat, Marvel Studios, boom, there it is. One person leading it, great. A dedicated team focused on building out a cinematic universe. The problem with DC for the longest time has been too many hands in the kitchen, too many executives with opinions on what should be done, where the universe should go, how this character should really be portrayed, even though the previous movies set him up to be going down a certain route and whatnot. So DC Studios, Alan Horn, a 10-year plan, and yes, they've made some very controversial moves in canceling quite a few things, both on the HBO Max and the theatrical side of it as well. And I'm just encouraged by it, by everything. Having been burned twice, I will say third time is the charm, right? That's the saying. Third time's the charm. David Zaslav, everyone likes to say the acts of Zaslav, right? This and that. He acknowledges he's not the most knowledgeable. So what did he do? He brought somebody back to Warner Brothers who is big time.
Question, Gio. Question.
Yes.
Is Alan Horn running DC Studios?
No. They haven't announced that yet. So at the earnings call, they heavily teased Investor Day, which is later on this year. and that's probably going to be our DC fandom of this year, because the last one was just so bad if anybody sat through it. But no, Alan Horn is coming back out of retirement as a, like, I guess a high-end consultant
on the WB side.
On the WB side,
Yeah.
helping repair some of the relationships that
Right.
AT&T severed by doing the 2021 day and date release. I mean, Christopher Nolan's Jake, we talked about it at the on the Oppenheimer reaction. Christopher Nolan's now at Universal.
Yep.
He's been at Warner Bros. For a long time. Denis Villeneuve barely came back for Dune Part 2. They had to pay him a lot of money.
Yeah.
And so I'm encouraged, but how do you guys feel?
I think he helped. Did he help? Just really quick. With I'm not maybe mistaken, but with Steve Jobs, but with Pixar and Disney, I think he kind of helped with that relationship because they were.
Are you talking about who? Are you talking about Alan Horn?
Who? Yeah, I think so. I'm not.
I don't know.
He might have. He's been in the industry for so long. If you talk like Amy Pascal, Bob Iger, even Kathleen Kennedy, they all respect the man. Like he's not the greatest guru, but he's definitely a name in the industry.
So if they're going to create a studio that says, DC Studios, I think that's a great idea because it's, you can now hire people or put people in a bubble to focus on that sole project, right? On those movies, those characters at all times. The only problem I have with this whole 10-year plan idea is that so many years ago, we had a giant slate of like 8 straight years of movies from them that did not pan out whatsoever.
We've heard it before. Yes.
It's I want DC to do well. I think that it's only better for us as viewers and just for the business in general if everything does well, and that includes both Marvel and DC at the same time. I just get worried that they're so focused in on trying to build a cinematic universe that sometimes it becomes too much. If I personally was in charge, like say for some stupid reason they put me in charge of running DC and I said, hey, this is what we're doing, I would say you build a Batman franchise, you build a Superman franchise, you build an Aquaman franchise, and you don't connect them. You do single stories about these characters because there are so many good stories about those characters that never have to include the Justice League. Never have to include the Justice League. Of course, Justice League would be great to see. And that doesn't mean you can't tell us a one-off story about Justice League with certain characters. But personally, I think DC does better when their franchises are left on their own. Like look at the Batman, for example, or the Dark Knight, right?
Even Joker.
Joker,
getting a sequel.
Great, right? Like Aquaman is my favorite DCEU movie, and it's very slightly connected. Very slightly connected.
Wait.
But it's still connected.
It's still connected.
I know. What?
The Suicide Squad. I thought you said that was your favorite.
No.
Do you not
Man
consider
of Steel? What the heck's going on?
Is that a hot take that Aquaman's my favorite?
No, I've known that. I knew that.
Low-key trash. I'm sorry.
What?
Wait. Which one?
Oh,
Which
bro.
one?
Aquaman. I could not stand what they did to my boy Yaya.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I'm with you. on that.
He's
No,
coming
that's
back. He's coming back.
That's fair.
No,
That's
just
fair.
what they made him do. I'm glad he's back, but he was not given anything to do great in that movie.
No,
that
I agree with
personally
that.
hurts my soul.
I agree with that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Like, all I wanted to say is that I'm excited that they're putting the focus in on these movies because they deserve, like, it's literally Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, like 3 of the biggest characters ever made, and they're struggling to put movies out. Like, why? And I know that it's always been said, but why has there not been another Superman movie since Man of Steel? Right?
Agreed.
You have the largest property in the world, and you don't think it's not going to make money,
Yes.
right?
But
Go ahead, Gio.
Jake, I will say, look, again, at the earnings call.
Everyone can cut in, by the way. Feel free.
Yeah, please. At the earnings call, he put heavy emphasis on the DC Holy Trinity: Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. Like, he kept mentioning that at his first press conference.
As you should.
Yeah, no, totally. Like, Batman's good. We got Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson, that whole, the rumors are that that's safe.
Yeah.
But we also got Batfleck back in Aquaman, which I'm happy about. I don't care. Like, it's more Batfleck given what he went through.
That was cool.
I love it. Wonder Woman, we'll see. I hear
Wonder Woman 3
rumors.
is not happening. It is not happening.
Okay, I wouldn't be so sure about that, Jake. All right, all I will say is she may or may not be appearing in a couple upcoming DC movies.
I don't think Patty Jenkins will come back.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna say it.
No. Patty Jenkins is not going to walk away after the critical.
I'm just gonna say it. The
84. She's going to come back in.
The DCEU needs to be axed after Aquaman 2. They need to restart.
I don't think that's what's going to happen.
I don't. But no. Wait a minute. Wait, Jake. If you say everyone, if you say the DCEU is axed, does that mean no more Henry Cavill Superman, no more Ben Affleck Batman, no more Jason?
No
Momoa,
more.
Aquaman?
It's been 9 years since a solo Superman movie.
Bro,
like,
you're telling me.
No
you're
more.
telling me.
And then they killed him. And then they killed him in one, and he was in half of the other. Like, no more. There hasn't been a lot of them.
Yeah.
But Jake, okay, like
I'm
not
heated.
defending that we haven't seen that. You know, it's acceptable that we haven't seen Superman on the big screen in 9 years.
He has a black suit. He had the black suit.
He had the black. What they did to him
Barely.
in this movie right here was incredible. But Jake, it's the same thing with Captain Marvel. You can only do so much with a character that powerful. Okay, like after a while,
Okay, hold on a
disagree
second.
with
Whoa.
I'll disagree with that a little. I understand, but there's stuff you can do with Captain Marvel.
No. There is no. There is. There absolutely is. But you got to be careful about what kind of stories you tell, because he could very easily become a very less interesting character because he's so powerful. He can go around the world. Or
I agree, but dude, we did 10 seasons of Smallville. And we have Superman and Lois. Superman is still a huge property.
That's a TV show.
It doesn't, like, people are still watching Superman. They are still watching the character.
Here's how I feel.
They want more character. Like Henry Cavill, the fact that he didn't show up at Comic-Con took more attention than anything DC presented. It's that crazy.
Because he's gonna go to Marvel. Anyway, Rube, go ahead.
Here's what Gio sounds like to me, and I sympathize. He sounds like every New York Knicks fan for the past 20 years. We have
my God.
As a New York Knicks fan, over and over. New start. We're gonna do this well. We're gonna do that. And right now, we are in the middle of a, you know what?
It's so true.
With Tibbs, slow down. Let these young guys come through. And you know what? We had a huge year. We dropped, and the Knick fandom is like, look, just take your time. Let's not rush this. We're going in the right trajectory. And I am hoping, Gio, you sound like me. I am hoping you are right. I am interested in
bad ownership. Same thing.
Yeah,
bad ownership.
Exactly. Look, what I am interested in is these next 3 years. Because a couple of questions I have is whether or not are you going to scrap the DCEU? Are you going to restart? And if you do restart, how does that look? Because you're 3 movies in to Wonder Woman. You're forever into 2 or 3 different Batmans. You haven't done a Man of Steel 2 yet. You want to keep Aquaman. Your most successful, what looks like the train you should be riding of Shazam and Black Adam. We'll see what those 2 do next. And whether or not they will do well. And after though, that's what I want to see what they're going to do. But also, are they going to keep their side projects, and not side projects, but like the alternate Batman, so the Joker? Is Joker coming into the DCEU, or is he going with Pattinson? And they're going to be like concurrent timelines, or are you going to mix it? That's what I want to see, because what made Marvel work so well is blessing in disguise. They couldn't get their A-listers. They built up all their B-listers and made them work together. And I'm wondering, okay, so Blue Beetle still coming out? What are you doing with the Lobo thing? Are you gonna is Static Shock ever coming by? Because is Green Lantern coming back? Are you gonna try to is focusing on your main 3 just gonna keep you in the same cycle you've already had? Or as part of your 10-year plan, going to be building up the smaller ones you don't know to build back to them? I want to see what the plan is 3 years from now to see if they finally got a road and finally got a track. And I think they can do well if they want to do DCEU more darker DC lane and just keep them going concurrently. But they got to make a decision.
Black Label and DCEU, like Black Label with Joker, maybe the Batman falls under that given the tone of the first movie and where Matt Reeves wants to go with Court of Owls. He mentions that a lot. But DCEU, like part of their 10-year plan, in my opinion, it would be so stupid to just leave all this money on the table and just wash away Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, Jason Momoa's Aquaman, Henry Cavill's Superman. Hell, Ben Affleck, how many times has he quit and came back? Like, it would be so stupid. You're leaving so much money on the table. That's something
they just left Michael Keaton basically in the dust. How do you do that to Michael Keaton, though?
The OG.
We will see Mike.
I think the Flash.
We will see Michael Keaton.
Insider Geo. Come on.
We will see Michael Keaton. That's Jacob. Help me out.
Jacob, you're awfully quiet over there, man.
Look, that's because most of what you guys are saying is nonsense. That's why.
Whoa.
Because all right, look.
Hot take.
David Zaslav knows what he's doing. He built Discovery into like something that was profitable enough to buy Warner Brothers from AT&T. If you look at this guy's track record, like he's basically like a genius as an executive. Right. Gio, you said he admitted that he's not the most knowledgeable in Hollywood, right? Like he doesn't have connections
on the film side.
Brings in Alan Horn to like help with those connections. Everything that Zaslav is saying about DC as a property, I 100% agree with. Saying that it should be their focus, their crown jewel of their movie studio, like creating its own studio, putting a team in charge, not willing to release movies that they feel are not up to their standards of quality that they're trying to put out. That's what he said about Batgirl, right? Which that's kind of harsh words, but like I'm not cool with Batgirl getting canceled because I wanted to see those directors and Leslie Grace and the other app performers. I wanted to see them at least give them a shot. Like we don't know, it could be great. But obviously they disagreed, right? I don't know who made that decision. Not just him, right? It has to be maybe Alan Horn said, scrap it. But my thing is that there's no way they're 100% rebooting the DCEU. I just don't see that happening because
agreed.
While here's the thing, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman has become like she's synonymous with Wonder Woman now. It's like a worldwide branding thing. Like she is Wonder Woman.
Agreed.
And it's like Chris Evans as Captain America. Not saying that her movies are better or that they've been as successful. They haven't, but it's that on that type of level as far as like global recognition. And same thing with Jason Momoa as Aquaman. Now, the thing with Cavill and Affleck is like, I love them as Superman and Batman, but the general public is like at the best split on that. I don't really see, I don't see them as the same. Like I look at Wonder Woman and Aquaman, like Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa as like, you can build from them going forward and just keep it going. Like maybe have new directors come in, whatever the case is. And I could see them also simultaneously moving on from Cavill and Affleck and bringing in a new Superman and Batman, because we're talking comic book movies. Look at what the MCU is doing. They're completely like changing the whole landscape of their universe through multiverse. And DC can do the same thing. So I think it's going to be a reboot and a continuation. I just don't think they can characters like that, honestly. I just don't see that.
My question happening. What are they doing with Ezra? What are they doing with the
Flash? So
that's the hugest thing right now.
So what they say is that like
there's literally say, like, two of him in the movie.
Didn't they say? I know, right? Like it's not just one character.
There's literally two of them.
There's three. Guess Gio just spoiled it.
Insider Gio over here. Yeah.
But isn't everybody saying like behind the scenes that the movie's great? Like, but okay, it's the studio saying the movie's great, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is I always expected this movie to be great because of Andy Muschietti.
Yes.
I always thought this movie was going to be great. So it probably is, but you have Ezra Miller starring.
He's ruining it.
and I think they release it, and then they recast Flash, and he's never Flash again. That's what I think happens.
I think he's never nothing again. You know?
Oh yeah,
like,
agreed.
at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
That boy needs some help. He needs something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the Flash, and I'm coming from a biased perspective because the Flash is arguably my favorite DC character. I want this character to be so great. Like I want his stories to be so great, and I'm very nervous for what this movie may do to that property. You know, and I have no doubt that the movie could be great because of Andy Muschietti. Like, he's an incredible director. What he does with storytelling is fantastic. The way he writes stuff, obviously the It movies are great. But I'm just curious on what happens with Ezra Miller on the cover, right? Because you have to put the Flash on the poster. Like,
yeah,
and if people know what's happening with Ezra Miller, like it's going to affect it a little bit, maybe not a lot, but it's not going to make what maybe it should have if Ezra Miller was just doing normal things. And, you know, like, he's not going to be doing press tours and stuff. Like, your star is not going to be on the red carpet and everything. That's just like odd. How does that affect things? And it makes me nervous for what it means for that specific property. Not everything in general, but the Flash, because it's the first Flash movie, and it's supposed to like turn everything around, and it's about, you know, the paradox and like all this stuff. And then this happens, and now, like, where does it go from here? Like, right? Like, what happens after this movie? So
yeah, that's a tough situation. And how the first Flash movie that's released ever, or wait, right? There was a TV show back in the day.
The first Flash movie ever. Just make him run the entire time so he's a blur.
Yeah. Well, you know how they showed him in the Shazam trailer? Like, just do that. Like, it's just like, but there's, like Gio said, there's 3 of them in the movie. So that's crazy. You can't just reshoot one actor's scene. Like,
okay, let's talk about Ezra Miller real quick. Okay. So there was a report recently, and like, you know what? No, never mind. Because like I'm not an Ezra Miller apologist. Okay, I will say though, if you read beyond the headlines about some of the things that he has been involved in, you'll come to find that things may not be the way they seem. And there's a reason why I sent in our little chat that we have these screenshots of things about these victims who are actually speaking out about Ezra Miller and saying, no, he actually helped me with an abuser, relationships, whatever, family and whatnot. This guy does need help. And I will say, since July, he has been, from what I've heard, he's been receiving help. He's been in rehab. That's why people are like, where is he? Where's Ezra Miller right now? He's getting help. Okay. Ezra Miller, I will say it again, is not very well known amongst the public, the general audience. Not like an Amber Heard. Okay. I'll repeat it again. So if he's able to get help, stay out of trouble, and believe me, he is paying for the stuff that he does, okay, for the shenanigans, okay? He's not Deshaun Watson, okay? He's paying for, he's due in court in September for the liquor thing back in May that I see in the chat, okay? Yes, Brian, I get you. And he's going to court, but he's also getting help. He's getting help, and Warner Brothers Discovery is sitting on a $300 million movie that they feel really good about. And they're pretty much playing this thing like, okay, this guy is getting help. He's probably not going to be in the marketing. I mean, if I'm Warner Brothers Discovery, I don't give a F if Ezra Miller's a good boy, clean record, whatnot. You could be all that. I'm putting Michael Keaton's Batman in the marketing, okay? Because that's going to be the big sell. Michael Keaton's Batman, Ben Affleck's Batman for however much, and the whole multiverse thing. But I'm just saying, guys keep talking about like go ahead.
Well, I just wanted, like, I understand where you're coming from about Ezra Miller not being a like household name. I get that, okay. But just to give a little bit on the other side of it, like of him possibly being someone who's very recognizable, the dude's been in 3 Fantastic Beasts movies. He was in Justice League. He was in the Snyder Cut. He made a cameo in Suicide Squad. He made a cameo in Peacemaker. He made a cameo in the Flash television series. People know who he is by now. I'm sorry. People know who Ezra Miller is by now. He's been in plenty of things to know, like, okay, we know that's the Flash.
They know his face. General audiences don't know his name, though.
I'm not saying he's Henry Cavill or Tom Cruise. Like, I'm not saying that. But the dude is recognizable. Like, he's a recognizable.
And Jake, I'm not saying he's a perfect child or he should be excused for some of the things. No.
I was just saying he's a recognizable person.
Totally. Like, he is paying for the things that he does. If I'm David Zaslav, I'm saying, okay, I'm sticking to this Flash movie. I'm probably doing some reshoots because the previous regime had this plan for all this other crap that was going on. So I'm definitely doing reshoots, but this is probably the last time, we're going to see Ezra Miller as the Flash. But if the movie is as good as they're saying it is, how do you just cancel it and just throw it away? No, I mean, I don't see the logic in that.
Well,
ask Henry Cavill, because everyone loves, regardless of people's feelings about Man of Steel, which it seems like most people like it. There's people that are just.
I think they've come around on it more over the years.
But most people seem to really enjoy Henry Cavill. Fans have been clamoring for him for almost 9 years now.
Just look at Comic-Con this last month. Okay. Like,
how can they scrap him? No, and Henry Cavill's a wonderful human being, but from what it seems,
yeah.
You know. So okay, I mean,
at the end of the day, I'm with Gio. There's no way they're scrapping this movie.
They're not going to scrap the movie.
No, they're not scrapping. My biggest hope is he gets some help. Maybe, hopefully, it comes out that all the stuff that's happening isn't as big as people have said. He gets his help. They put the movie out. We don't see him for a long time. Like, that seems like the best case scenario.
Yeah.
All of those have to hit though. Every single one of those things has to hit. The thing is, I'm gonna be one of the guilty parties. Whatever happens with him, they release the movie. I'm seeing it. Unfortunately,
yeah.
I
probably will too. I mean, I will too. Yeah.
This will probably be, unfortunately, this will probably be people's only chance to see Michael Keaton back in the Batsuit. You know, and they're probably going to rewrite how the movie ends. They're going to find a way to reintroduce a new Flash. Michael Keaton's going to get his No Way Home send-off like Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire and whatnot. But it will still be an event movie, in my opinion. Assuming best case, scenario. Worst case is he's as fucked up as people says, and the stuff that he does is as bad as it's been written. I'm looking at you, Rolling Stones. My opinions only. They don't speak. I'm saying that, okay? Like, I'm watching you, but like, I don't see them scrapping the movie. Bottom line. So
no, do we all agree that no matter what happens, Ezra will not be Flash after this movie?
100%.
He probably.
I
don't think he's Flash right now, but they're gonna hold on to that news. So that movie's over.
Gio, you're cool with that, right? Like, even if the movie comes out, it's great. Makes $800 million, and then they just recast Flash. Like,
the only way I would say he's still the Flash. The only way, this is a very based on everything, okay, is if all of the things that came out against him were not nearly as bad as it's being painted. He went to rehab. He got the help. Hollywood loves a comeback story. And the movie turns out to be as great as it is, and he comes back and he's a better person. I know that's a lot to ask for. I admit that's a lot to ask for, but if there's even a 1% chance that it happens,
saying there's a chance,
saying there's a chance. That's all.
Jacob, this is what I think is happening. I think he's already been, or they've already made the decision. It won't come out until after the movie, and then they're going to announce Glenn Powell as the new Barry Allen.
Hey, there you go. Hey, isn't that more like comic accurate, Barry Allen?
I just love Glenn Powell, and I wanted to see him more. That's all.
I was going to say a Hal Jordan, since but
that's good. That's good.
He'd be good. I say Wally West.
I say Human Torch, but anyway.
That's a
We
good
want him
one.
as everything.
Okay.
It's gonna be so hard because they have to market the movie, right? So you know how like with the Flash, with this Flash, they want to market him like they want him to be charming and funny. Like, how do you market him like that? And then
Well, so
everybody
Jacob, this is what you do.
doesn't
You
like
don't.
Ezra
You
Miller.
don't. You market him very minimal. You use Supergirl.
And
Yeah,
Batman.
and
Supergirl
You
and both
use
both
Supergirl.
Batman.
The return of Michael Keaton.
Supergirl. She is going to probably be made as the co-lead through marketing. She might be made to believe as like almost the lead.
But
I'm
see,
cool with that.
Yes, but I think
her
the-
and Batman.
big-
Yeah,
the big thing of this movie is the return of Michael Keaton as Batman.
Yeah, no,
But
and
I don't
one more
want
thing,
all that
guys.
ruined in the
No.
promotion. Like,
One more thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's gonna
the market.
true.
That's how you sell it, dude. Y'all, I'm trying to tell you. We talked about it when Batman came out. We've talked about Batman a bunch of times, but I'm telling y'all how massive that was in 1989. Like that stretch of time when he like that was.
They're gonna use Michael Keaton in
I'm
the
telling
marketing.
you, and it's
195%.
Absolutely. That's
But
how'd you
here's the
come up
thing to
with
remember, guys?
195?
I don't know, but here, guys. Remember, they're not going to start marketing the Flash movie next week. They're not going to start marketing the.
It's going to
the Flash
start on
movie.
Super Bowl. It's going to start on the Super Bowl.
Yes, that genius right there. Yes, it's gonna start on
you know,
Super
this is
Bowl.
what's going to happen.
So-
It's going to be a 30-second spot, and it's just going to be a black screen of Keaton walking, and it'll fade into him walking, and then we'll see a shot of him with the Batmobile, and boom, there you go. There's your spot.
And again, best case scenario. I'm saying best case scenario, guys. He lays low. He gets help. He stays in rehab. He's out of the spotlight for the next 6 months. You think the general audience, the public, is going to remember all these little
It
fucking
depends
crimes?
on if it depends if he can
Best
lay
case.
low.
Yeah, best case. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Best case.
Of course.
Because Zaslav is not gonna forget. So
Yeah. Okay. So look,
Zaslav. He's Zaslav's prisoner right now. He's saying, "No, you stay in that fucking thing."
Okay,
right now."
okay. I want to cut the Flash talk a little bit because I do want to talk a little bit more about some other DC stuff. I want to go around the table, and each person can say their one thing, and we can kind of teeter off that a little bit. So if this 10-year plan works out, you know, and maybe a year, 2 years from now, we hear of things that are kind of, you know, they're working on movies, projects, etc. What is like the one or maybe even two things that you want/need from a DC universe for this 10-year plan? Okay, Gio, go ahead. Quickly, don't take up all the time.
Let me say this before I grab another IPA. Okay, so there's been this thing going around film Twitter about
We're not talking rumors. What you
No. Thank you. Yes, I'm getting into that, bro.
Okay,
Give me a second. There's this thing going around that the Snyderverse is dead.
Oh God.
If that's your way of dealing with the frustration of Batgirl getting canceled, that's fine. I don't know what the hell Zack Snyder did to you to make you want to, but my hope and all signs are pointing towards this happening right now, until we learn further information. My hope is that they spend these next 10 years finishing off everything with this universe, as in Wonder Woman 3, maybe a Batfleck movie, a Man of Steel 2 with Henry Cavill. They want to use these next 10 years to build towards some kind of a crisis event where something big happens and then do a proper reset. So what I would like to see personally is Henry Cavill Superman involved more in the DCEU. I'm talking about Black Adam 2, Shazam, World's Finest, whatever the hell you want to do, okay? Clearly, Ben Affleck wants to still play Batman. Otherwise, he would not have come back 2 weeks ago for Aquaman reshoots. Wonder Woman 3. We'll see what happens with the Flash. I don't know. But, and then this is the interesting thing.
This is like four things. I asked for one or two.
Oh, okay. Well, so fine. The Snyderverse to finish, okay? I would like to see the Snyderverse finished, and that's
You
all.
said you wanted to see Henry Cavill involved more, and you wanted to see the Snyderverse finished.
I think everybody would love to see Henry Cavill at least one more time, especially after how that Snyder Cut ended with him opening his freaking shirt, and that's just gold right there. So
I mean, I agree.
Yeah. What's one more movie?
I mean, there should be like 7 movies with him, if I'm being honest.
Agreed.
Keith, I'm going to go to you next. What is something, 1 or 2 major things that you need to see from DC in the next couple of years? That you want to see, I should say.
Well, Farrell, you're hitting on some of it. He's just sprinkling it in the chat here, but Sandman here, which I haven't watched yet. So I can't say if I want a movie or not. I want to watch the show and decide if I think it's a lot. There's a lot going on with Sandman, so I think the show might be stick with TV for now. But well, Gio just hit on something like you can roll your eyes, but listen. Snyder Cut ended with Darkseid and the New Gods, and basically kind of hinting at the injustice kind of storyline with Superman. I don't understand why we're not going with that. Like that's maybe they just don't want to have evil Superman out there right now. I don't maybe I mean they did Death of Superman almost immediately, so I don't know why that would be an issue, but yeah, I'd like to see that finish out. Basically, kind of in line with what Gio just said. I mean, because that was fascinating. You're looking at Batman, the Flash, and oh my gosh, Deathstroke, all the same team. The Joker, for whatever reason, is there.
A recasted Mira.
Yeah,
Joker and Batman hanging out.
Right, like they're making threats at each other. Meanwhile, Superman's showing up and you're ready to kill everyone. I mean, interesting story. I mean, I thought I wanted to see that, but other than
that,
okay. But if they do any of this, Zack Snyder's not directing any of the movies. They might see the story play out.
Don't open it up.
Don't. Why you gotta fucking rain on the parade? Like, hey,
and I love
even
Zack
if it
Snyder.
comes back, Zack Snyder is done.
That's fine.
Snyder,
Listen,
he's
whatever.
busy.
That's fine.
Busy, okay?
Exactly.
He's gonna make Sophia Boutella.
Why are you taking it as a negative right away?
No, yeah,
I'm entertaining. Okay. I'm entertaining the folks.
I'm saying he's got other stuff to do. He's got better things to do with his time.
That's what I'm saying, but that's fine. But make a good story and get a good.
Let Dan Trachtenberg direct it.
George Lucas, Dan, sure.
Well, why not give somebody like that a shot to do one of these movies?
Get the Russo brothers. Whoever, I don't know, whoever. But
Christopher McQuarrie,
Ben Affleck, Corey, yeah, sure.
No, Christopher McQuarrie is going to do a Les Grossman film. That's all I care about.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So Keith, that was yours. Just kind of let the story play out.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Rue, what about you?
I don't care about anything that happens with the current DCEU. Let that play out. What I would love to see, one, is bring Static Shock into a movie, please.
Yeah, right.
There you go.
I want to see Static Shock in a movie. Some of the lesser seen Justice League members, I'd love to see Martian Manhunter and bring Green Lantern back, please. Do something well. Listening to all this, I'm like, how many people are just going to say y'all are trying to do what the MCU's been doing and y'all are just copying? So what I would love, and would be different, is find a way to just take Batman's rogues gallery of villains and go nuts. Because he probably has one of the best rogues gallery of villains. And whether it is in a whole bunch of different movies, but find a way to start utilizing probably for a non-DC fan, probably your best assets that you haven't used. You're going Black Adam and you're going anti-hero villain way anyway. Villains make the best stories. If your villains are great, everything else comes in line. Take your Rose Gallery and go have some fun and do something different. Because you see the Marvel cards back here.
The Dark Knight.
All the way. I'm just wearing this because what we're talking about.
Yeah. The Dark Knight with Joker, obviously, and say what you will about Man of Steel. I thought General Zod.
Give me and then Gio, I'm gonna play on your side on this one. Give me a Ben Affleck Batman versus Joe Manganiello Deathstroke.
Yes.
Ooh,
yes.
Give me that.
There
movie.
is hope.
I will pay $50 to see that movie. That's all I want.
Maybe more.
Hey. And you know who was supposed to appear in that movie? Batgirl. Very
really?
much
That
involved.
makes sense. That makes sense.
Come on, Leslie.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean,
what they're doing.
mine is it's been said, but I think I don't know if they're scared because of the 2011 movie, but I really think they need to get Green Lantern off the ground. It is such a huge property that can span off so many different things.
Agreed.
I mean, he's a space cop. He's literally a space cop, and all of the different, not just lanterns, but you have the different worlds and obviously the different colored rings and all of the different kind of characters that you can play with. He can obviously come back into the Earth and stuff, but there's so much opportunity to stay away from Earth with that. Whether it's a TV series or a movie series, I really think that they need to take another crack at it. It's been over 10 years now. I think enough people have gotten that sour taste out of their mouth, but I think if you cast someone to play Hal Jordan and you pair him with the Jon Stewart, or you focus on Jon Stewart, either way, you also have Kyle Rayner and Jessica Cruz and all these different Green Lanterns that you can focus on. I think it's such a property that's overlooked too much is what I guess I could say. It really does need to be given a chance again. And I think 10 years is plenty of time. If it's him, great. If it's him, great. Like, I'd love to see stories on Jon Stewart. I think Jon Stewart's a fantastic character. But there's plenty of other Lanterns. I think Hal Jordan needs to be given his due. Like, because the 2011 movie just was obviously not very good. I would love to see that character be given a chance again. But I also just want major consistency. Like, the DC universe has kind of been so all over the place. It's been Snyderverse and it's been outside of Snyderverse, right? Like, we have all these movies with like Batfleck and Jason Momoa, but then we have the movies like Joker and Batgirl. We didn't know where that was
Headless
going to land.
Superman.
So like I want more consistency. I want things. I'm not saying that everything has to be in the same exact universe, but I guess I want clarification. I want clarification on what's what. Because going in, not knowing, okay, where is this at in these DC movies? Is this with Batfleck, or is this with Michael Keaton, or is this something completely different? I just want to be notified and more, I want it all clarified a little bit more. And then that may take time, which I'm okay with, but I want it to be cleaned up and just be, just feel more comfortable with where the DC universe is kind of headed. Jacob, why don't you finish this off? What is yours?
Yeah, so I had to think a little bit on these, but there's two things that I desperately need from DC in the next 10 years. And the first one's simple, and it's not exactly what you guys said, but it's similar. And I need a proper theatrical Justice League movie, a great theatrical Justice League movie. I'm not talking about I need the cinematic universe. Like, get cinematic universe out of your head. I'm just talking like, let's say they made it like 15, 20 years ago when we weren't thinking cinematic universe. Like, if you just made a Justice League movie, you'd be like, okay, characters. I just want a Justice League movie, right?
George Miller's.
You can do it with current characters that you have with Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa. You can bring Zachary Levi in, whatever. I just want, like, do something unique. Don't do aliens invade Earth and we have to fight them off Earth. Like, we've seen that. It's Avengers. That's Justice League also. So, like, do something unique. Maybe they have to go on a mission in space. Like, whatever the case is, just give me a great theatrical Justice League movie that I can enjoy with other movie fans in a movie theater. Like, and it just be awesome. I don't know how they get there, but I really, really want that. Like, we've had 3 or 4 good to great Avengers movies, and we haven't had a great Justice League movie in theaters. That's all I'm saying.
That's my biggest regret with this one right here. It's just I wish there would have been some kind of theatrical release of this one.
Well, notice I chose my words carefully, Gio.
I got you, bro. No, I got you, bro. Hey guys,
But even more importantly, I need, and this is going to be controversial. I haven't had a chance to talk about this yet. I need them to cancel the Joker 2 plans and not have Harley Quinn.
You want
played by
Margot
Lady
Robbie.
Gaga.
You want Margot
I don't-
Robbie as Harley.
I don't want that movie. That
Dude.
sounds like a terrible idea to me.
I
I don't
mean-
want a musical Joker movie, and I don't want Lady Gaga playing Harley
I
Quinn.
mean,
Okay.
I'm not going to stand with Jacob, but
So
What?
all I'm saying, look, as a movie fan, I have the right to say I don't think that's a good fit, and I
Sure.
just don't think that's a good fit.
It's all
So
subjective.
with that being said, I need a proper Margot Robbie Harley Quinn movie, not
Okay.
Birds of Prey.
Yeah, that's-
Like her in Coney Island,
Bro.
just living in her crazy house with her friends and her animals, like just chilling. Like I need a proper Harley Quinn movie.
so
like
to
that.
not to cut the conversation, and we'll
That's
pick it back right back up. But speaking on what Jacob is speaking on, we got a Streamlabs that focuses right in on this, which is why I want to bring it in. So
Yeah.
Farrell, thank you for this. He said it was a great weekend for Nope, Sandman, Prey, For All Mankind, Paper Girls, and the Orville finale. My idea for the DC movie would be animated Harley Quinn movie. There you go.
Bro, we got the Harley Quinn show. That's all you need. But-
would it be like a movie from the show, or would it just be a brand new movie, like something totally different? I mean, I'm cool with either. I'm down.
Don't sleep on Lady Gaga as
Yes. Absolutely.
I'm not into the musical part of it, the musical idea. But,
Not yet.
But I think she will. I think she's going to be spectacular.
She's gonna crush. I tweeted it out, and I'm saying it right now. Your 2025 Best Lead Actress
Oh
winner.
God.
Okay, all right, cool.
Hey.
That's fine.
She should have been
That's it,
nominated
that's it.
last year for the Gucci movie.
That's what a lot of people.
phenomenal
were saying.
actress.
Yeah.
I think she's made to be Harley Quinn. That's a perfect.
No, oh my goodness.
Bro.
Okay.
Oh,
Anyway,
it's
before Jacob's
shattering
head
my
explodes,
mind right
She
now.
Before Jacob's head
she is
explodes.
fire.
All right. Any final thoughts on DC future stuff before we kind of wrap things up here, gentlemen?
Where do I
Anything?
start?
Okay, Gio, you just take. You just,
Wait, hold on,
talked
wait,
enough
hold on,
tonight.
wait, hold
You
on,
talked
hold on,
enough.
wait, hold on. I got one more thing on Snyderverse, and then I have a question for all of you. One more thing. For anybody saying the Snyderverse is dead, let me remind you what movies take place in the Snyderverse coming up. Black Adam, Shazam: Fury of the Gods, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, The Flash, and we'll see about Blue Beetle. That's the one I'm iffy about. So, in the words of Tom Cruise when he was talking to Ed Harris in Top Gun Maverick, the Snyderverse is dead. Maybe, but not today, sir. Second thing,
oh God.
I want to ask all of you. David Zaslav is very, very adamant about controlling HBO Max and what's released. Does Michael B. Jordan or Ta-Nehisi Coates' Superman projects
Forgot about that.
still happen?
I hope so.
And if so, which one's more likely to happen? Question.
Interesting.
Yeah, I forgot about
I
that.
put more weight on Michael B. Jordan just because he's
Yeah.
established, whereas Ta-Nehisi Coates, he is a name outside of Hollywood, but
Right.
for me,
So
like,
all of those were like, whether they're all rumors, right? So they all came out under the old regime of Warner Brothers.
well,
so
Michael
like,
B. Jordan admitted he's actively developing the Style Shock and the Superman movie. So that's
recently.
no. This was some time ago.
So, but
before
the thing is,
merger.
every single thing that was in development is now paused and reconsidered because of Discovery.
no,
So,
you're
like,
right. Yeah.
I would love to see one of those. I just don't think we will. Like, we might, but not anytime soon. I don't think. I don't think they want to convolute Superman the character too much, like Superman. But those are different characters, though, right? They're not. They're not.
yeah.
parallel.
Help me out. Yeah, Val Zod, and who's the other one?
Yeah.
Calvin.
So
The one he's the president, right? Calvin Ellis.
you
is
can
the
Calvin Ellis.
president?
actually have those characters, like whether they're in their standalone movies or in the DCEU. You can do that, but I think they want to get Kal-El right first. I think that's all I would say.
Calvin Ellis.
I'll just say that they're probably on pause for the moment until announcements are made, and maybe that's after the Flash. I don't know.
I just heard they pushed back Creed till next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
just March.
That's a
March.
Yeah, but anyway, that hurt.
hey, Amber. Which one would you rather see?
Probably the Michael B. Jordan one. I'd be excited for either. But I want to see what Michael B. Jordan does with that. Though I do want to see how he directs Creed 3 first.
Yeah,
me
See
too.
how that turns
Sure.
out.
Yeah.
Same.
True.
All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up tonight, everybody. Pretty lengthy discussion on DC there. I'm sure it'll continue. Black Adam is coming up soon. We have Shazam: Fury of the Gods and Aquaman 2, and then obviously The Flash next summer. And then we'll keep an eye on what comes out as far as future projects, announcements, that type of stuff. And we'll be covering it here. I do want to give a big thanks to Amaru for joining us. Thanks, man. It's
Absolutely.
been
My
we've been
pleasure.
talking
My
for a little
pleasure.
bit,
Thank you.
and
Yes.
super happy to finally get you involved. You will 100% be back for anything D23 because you're a big Marvel guy.
Yes.
We'll definitely get you on that one. Before we get out of here, why don't you let everybody know who's watching, where they can find you online, man?
Amaru Moses. It's AMARUMOSES on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I also write for a crew of reviewers called Bite Size Breakdown. We got a website, bitesizebreakdown.com. If you follow me, that's really all I post for the most part. We have a YouTube channel. We have IG and Facebook. Just type in Bite Size Breakdown. I also have a show that this star has been on. We had a show yesterday, which was fun. It's called One Gotta Stay on Bite Size Breakdown, where I give you 4 to 6 options, and instead of one that has to go,
It's so hard.
it's one that has to stay. We're in the middle of a geek tournament to find like the best geek character, and yesterday's episode was Wolverine, Spider-Man, Batman, Superman. You only get to keep one. The rest of them are gone forever.
Ooh.
It was a really fun show. Winston Marshall was on it yesterday. Bunch of people, so go check that out. It's any of you gentlemen ever want to be on, let me know. I'll definitely reach out, and if you see me post stuff and you're like, I want to be on that episode, let me know. It's a fun time.
Yeah, it's not fair. It's just not fair.
It sounds fun. Yeah.
Gio, let them know where they can find you, man.
Well, okay, I just want to say thank you guys. This was a fun conversation. I love the positivity with DC. It's been rough, but thank you. And I'm not a cultist. Okay.
Why,
you'd be
the fact
surprised.
that
You'd
you
be
even have to
surprised.
say that is concerning.
You'd be surprised how much money I've donated in the past 2 years. Okay. But you guys can follow me on Twitter at FandomUnited21. There I am with my help me. Okay. I got like 100 followers. So follow me. And on here, of course, Apocaflix movies. We will be talking Andor. Is it later this month, Jake, or next month?
It got pushed to September.
We will be talking Andor on Fandom. Sorry.
She-Hulk is next week, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bring me Daredevil.
Rewind. Yep.
Hey.
And yeah, that's Fandom United, of course, where I geek out about more DC stuff. So check me out there.
And Keith.
Yes. Well, first of all, everyone, thank you for watching. I do want to highlight this real quick, Karen.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Dude, John. Also, Nichelle Nichols too. R.I.P. to her as well. We've lost I've said it every time it happened, but we've lost so many heavyweights this year, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Prayers
definitely.
to Anne Hetch.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's terrible. Yeah,
sorry, but, yeah.
definitely so. But that said, yeah, you can find me on Twitter at KeithBarnes79. Rue, I'm following you right now. I just clicked. Just
got the notification. Love it.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I'm at KeithBarnes79 at Keith Barnes 1979 on Instagram. And you can find me on Facebook. And yeah, one of those. I don't know, something like that. And you see me every now and then with Gio on Fans United and with my buddy Jacob Bartley on Bartley and Barnes as well. Coming back real soon.
And Mr. Bartley.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at JacobBartley824. Yeah, Keith and I are brainstorming, cooking up what we want to do with Bartley and Barnes. So we'll have updates on that pretty soon here. And also, if you play fantasy football, I also have a fantasy football YouTube channel called First Round Fantasy. You can go check that out on YouTube.
Jake McCaffrey for Bruce Hall.
We'll talk, Gio. We'll talk. You can find me at Qui-Gon Jake, 2 N's. Someone else took it before I did. Here multiple times a week. Marvel Rewind will be back next week as She-Hulk is finally out on Disney Plus. You'll see us reviewing those episodes. Keith, let's talk so we can get a time to get you on that show because I know how big of a She-Hulk fan you are. You can find me on a certain point of view as well, talking everything Schmodown for the next couple months. And then the show will be transforming into something else. I will also say, just heads up, you probably won't see my face for a little bit. There's something big that's happening this weekend, and I will be taking a little bit of a hiatus for the next couple weeks. So Gabby and I are finally tying the knot, and these gentlemen will be taking over. The inmates will be running the prison, everybody. The inmates will be running the prison. So enjoy it. Be back. We have something really special planned for you guys for the next couple weeks. It's a really, really cool idea that we're super excited to do. So check that out. Stay connected on social media. Apocaflix Movies everywhere. And again, to everyone who's been watching live, thank you guys so much. Rue, thank you again. You'll definitely be back. Love having you, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And everyone have a great night and a great rest of your week.